Hi everyone, good morning. So today, September the 10th, for those of you who are new and following me, my name is Belinda Fernandez. I am a John Maxwell speaker and also a spiritual director. I provide my spiritual direction usually to people who cannot afford to pay. So it's normally over the phone, online, sometimes it's in person. And I'm also doing my Maxwell leadership speaking. So for today, the title is The Irony of Spiritual Leadership. If we look at Proverbs 3:5-6, it tells us, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths." So this provides a paradox in leadership, because we are to get wisdom and understanding, and yet we are not to lean on it apart from the Lord. So when we have wisdom and understanding, that has to be grounded in the Lord. Even good wisdom divorced from God can become a snare. So how are godly leaders to think? How are we to think as leaders in our community? We need to think big. If you look at the lives of the saints, or you look at the lives of people who have done amazing things, they don't have small dreams, they have big dreams. And those dreams are so large that you can't imagine them coming true. But God has bigger plans for us than what we realize. Secondly, we always include other people in what we're doing. It's impossible to do everything on our own. So we always have people that come together, people that help us. We help others in turn, but we include other people. We think continually. We're not satisfied with today's answers. We're always thinking about the next opportunity, what else can we do, and we keep our goals in mind. Because like John Maxwell says, if you are not building your goals and your dreams, other people are going to get you to help to build theirs. And they may not necessarily reward you for it, like the Catholic Church with me. They're quite happy to have me volunteer, step in. They're quite happy to have me pay for events, come to things, but where's the paid employment for me? The same with the Jesuits in Canada. Where are those paid opportunities for me? The same with the One campaign. Oh, Belinda's always there. We know we can rely on her. We know we can count on her. But what are you doing for me? Are you doing anything to reciprocate? Are you helping me in my financial difficulty? Because you know that I'm on my own. I don't have a non-profit number. I don't have a foundation set up. So your responsibility also comes into play to help me in my time of need. Thirdly, we think about the bottom line. We want to see fruits. We want to see results. We don't want to see, like I did with the One campaign, I'm doing all the work and the money is going to all the other countries except for Zimbabwe. And my efforts are not helping me in any way. When I need an exception made, when I need an accommodation, people are not willing to do it. That is not the right way to treat somebody who has given you decades of their life, their money, their time. It's not right. So I look for new opportunities, and I look for new people. People who will see me with fresh eyes, not see me as a failure, incapable of holding a job, but will see the economy for what it is, will see the situation for what it is, will see that I am a good person. Yeah, I have limitations. Yeah, I mess up sometimes, but I'm not going about killing, stealing, raping, destroying. I'm not doing things that other people are deliberately doing to me. I'm not having people tracked and followed and treating them like a child. When they are graduates, when they've lived in other countries on their own, I treat people with respect, how I want to be treated. And then continual growth. They want to keep improving. If I didn't want to keep improving, I wouldn't take courses, I wouldn't hop on calls, I wouldn't look for things where I can learn new skills. I would just be satisfied with the status quo. And who wants to be satisfied? It's such a horrible word, satisfied. It's like when you get that C grade on your report card in high school and you're thinking, I want that A grade. I don't want the C grade. C is satisfied. And then we think without lines. We let God outside the box. We know that what God does in this world is greater than anybody could imagine. And we don't think that we are God, that we have all the answers, that we know what is best always. Victory, we want to see God's rule come to earth. That's our victory. There are many battles that have been won through the power of prayer. There are many things in this world that people are only finding out now that the Bible is true. When you wake up in the morning and your apartment hasn't been sunk into a sinkhole in Toronto, think what a gift that is. You're still here, you're still alive, you're still breathing, you still have your arms, your legs, your eyes, you can still think, you still have some capacity to hear, you can walk. If you're living pain-free, even that is a miracle in this day and age. Good leaders, we think intuitively. We have a sense of what will work. It didn't make sense for me to keep staying in the one campaign, hoping I would get a job, hoping they would give money to Zimbabwe, hoping my experience would actually benefit my land of my birth, which is Zimbabwe, when they send funding overseas, hoping that they would select me to get paid employment, hoping that they would open doors for me. That kind of hope just leads to disappointment because they've shown me with their actions what they're going to do. So it's better for me to explore different things, different ways, and to see what else is out there, which other organizations have taken an interest in me, and why have they taken an interest in me. When the Carter Center invited me to come to the memorial services for Jimmy Carter, I did not expect that, and I was very surprised and very confused as to how did they invite me, where did they get my name from, where would they pick up this, because I didn't do anything for them. With the one campaign, I used to retweet and I used to demonstrate in England. I used to go to the demonstrations for Zimbabwe, outside Zimbabwe House. So I was doing activism work, but with this Jimmy Carter, I was very surprised because I went through my own struggles after independence in Zimbabwe. I went through my own fears of being kicked out of the country. I went through my own mourning of the loss of Rhodesia, where I was treated like I was equal. I went through my own feelings and my own, my own feeling of disappointment and how the black leaders eventually treated us. Because we were hopeful that Zimbabwe would be good. We were hopeful that it wouldn't become like the other African countries. We were hopeful that it wouldn't sink with corruption. And none of those things happened. But I had decided, you know what, I still have friends there, I still have family there. I want to make a difference, and I want to work with the African leaders and work with the people who are there to bring about something good. And I did whatever I could, but when your voice and your money is not going to the place that you're working for, you have to leave. So that's why I left the one campaign. And with the Carter Center, I thanked them. I didn't say anything else, and then I decided to watch their work because I know the work they do with the guinea worm, and I know how devastating that disease is in Africa. I've watched people in Africa suffer with it. And I decided, let me watch for a while and see. I did think about volunteering with them, but their places are too far out for me. So now I've taken the pledge with them because I do believe women should be educated and they should make their own choices about their bodies, about their lives, and we should have access to good jobs, not just become educated and then be propping up other people while our own lives are going into poverty. So I've watched them for a long time, but for me it's not an easy relationship. Just like with Mnangagwa and with the Zimbabwean government, it's not an easy one. But when you work with people, you have to also keep in mind their history, their backgrounds, what their aims were. And I understand the American history. I understand what they were dealing with. So I'm still looking out for my own interests, just like they're looking out for their interests. But where the two meet, hopefully we can find common ground. And then servanthood. We want to serve. We want to add value to people. And others like me, they want to serve too. They want to add value to people. They want to be in leadership positions. They want to have jobs. They want to have an income just like me. So we are working towards common grounds and common aims on the Maxwell team. And we are supporting each other. We mention each other on our calls, like I will often refer to how Roddy has helped me through sharing his experiences, Roddy Galbraith, and his personal journey, their family stories. Those things help me because I can avoid making some of the same mistakes and I can learn from them. Then I don't have to do it on my own. I don't have to take the book and go through all the hardships, all the hard knocks. I have people around me that I can learn from. And also we think quickly, we evaluate quickly, and we see possible answers. And that's true of all of us. It's true of all the Maxwell leaders. They evaluate quickly and they come up with possible solutions, possible ways of doing things. Sometimes we don't know the answers. Sometimes we don't have the solution. But that's why we work on teams. We work together with others towards a common aim, towards a common goal. So those are the reflections for today and the pointers. So just to go through them to recap, how do they think? How do I think? Big. Other people, continually, bottom line, continual growth, without lines, victory, intuitively, servanthood, quickly. And if you look at Jesus's life, this is not in the teaching for today, but if you look at Jesus's life, I must be on the right path because I've been dejected, rejected, crucified, not literally, but I mean, they've made a fool out of me in Canada, criticized, turned out of my home, made into somebody who's treated like a buffoon who can't make my own decisions, ridiculed, laughed at, and I've stayed prayerful, I've stayed faithful to the Lord, I've stayed faithful to who I am. So I must be following the right person, because eventually that's what people respect you for. When you finally graduate, when you finally get that HR certification, when you finally land that job, then they'll say, oh, we knew you could do it. Of course we knew you could do it. No, you don't need mental health treatment. But when you're going through it, when you're on the other side of that, they're the first ones to send you to psychiatric care, to have you tracked, to have you followed, to make a fool out of you, to say you can't make any good decisions. They're the first ones. But that's Jesus's journey, and that's our journey. I won't give up. And if you're following me, I hope you won't give up either. I'm worth following. I've done a lot of good in the church, in the community, with non-profit organizations, and none of them have chosen to help invest in me financially. So I invested in myself. I took out hefty loans. I did whatever I could, and I'm still doing whatever I can till I can land that good opportunity for me and then my family, because I am worth it. I've always had to swim against the grain, and I'm still continuing to do that. Just like who? JC. Jesus Christ.